The threat of plague, civil unrest like this country has never seen before? Are you still thinking about selling everything and getting out on the road? Let's talk about that. Today we're down overlooking Canyonlands at Needles Overlook, and we'll give you a look at that. And we're going to camp somewhere around here this evening. We don't know where yet. We're just looking. Right now we're sitting in this really cool, and I mean temperature cool. It's very nice. Very nice. It's kind of an alcove, you know, where the wind erosion blows away the sandstone, and we're just kind of sitting back in one of those spots and enjoying the view and the cool temperatures. Yeah.
Yep. Cool down a little.
You betcha. Yeah, the all-American dream. Sell everything, buy an RV, and hit the road. Can't blame people for thinking like that. And I encourage people to do that. Or even if you just do it part-time. Then there's a lot of folks who are living on the road full-time in their vans and their little camp trailers. You know, they probably don't have any funds in the bank, or they may not have funds in the bank. Just living day to day. But now with so much going on in the world, that's not very good. A lot of people who've been on the road are looking for a home base. When this COVID plague hit back in March, Linda and I were enjoying ourselves down in Arizona, and we saw that things were starting to get bad. Kind of the rush to the markets to buy up everything, and we thought the best place for us to be was back at our home base, back home, so we could weather it out and just kind of watch and see what happened. So that's what we did, but at least we had a place to go. So I wanted to talk about what you might think about as a home base and what the possibilities are. What's a home base to you?
Well, to me, a home base is your home, or a place you can go to no matter what circumstances, anytime, and you will not be asked to leave.
Yeah, exactly. A place where you can feel at home.
Right.
Yeah, it can be I see that some RVers are buying property of, you know, acreage or lots right now. You've probably been watching a lot of them on YouTube, and like Eric, Nomadic Fanatic, just bought a small house, which I thought was pretty good. Others are buying acreage where they can park their RV. And the thing about those places is that when you're there, nobody can throw you out, right?
Right, because you own the place.
For a lot of folks, I saw where they were seeking seclusion, you know, they were supposed to shelter in place, self-isolate, and they went out on the BLM land because they were living on the road or national forest, and they were getting chased off. Not everywhere, but down, I mean, we're in Utah right now. Down here in Utah it was happening because you see that BLM land is under the jurisdiction of whatever county it happens to be in. I guess because the county sheriffs were going out and telling folks that you're not a resident here, you're not a resident of the county, you have to move along. And these were folks that were just parked out in the desert, far away from anybody, and they were told to leave. They had nowhere to go. That was a problem. That hurt me to see that. And, you know, Linda and I sitting at our house, you know, all safe and snug and everything, and then seeing other people getting chased like that. And so I thought maybe we should discuss what makes a good home base and why you need one.
So it's all part of thinking ahead, you know. If you are living the RV life, nomadic life, what happens if you can't move? You have to have a spot where, if you're in that spot, no one can tell you you have to leave, or that's your spot.
Yeah, exactly. Like a lot of the folks that were out in their motorhomes and their fifth wheelers and, you know, having a good time, but retired and living in them full time, all of a sudden found themselves without being able to get a reservation at an RV campsite. Like I'll just mention 1,000 Trails all of a sudden started restricting entry, and reservations, from what I saw, got canceled and people had nowhere to go. So that's the case I'm talking about, is having a place where you can call your own. Now, what are some of the kind of places you can call your own?
Well, like you mentioned, you buy a small piece of property, family,
yeah.
that you're on good terms with. Like for me, coming from Hawaii, my home base is I've always had a home base because I still have family on several islands, so that's my home base.
But we're talking about a place where you can take your RV.
Right.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about home base.
Yeah, home base, yeah.
Where you won't be asked to leave.
Yeah, and that's the thing too. Like, you might consider a friend's place or a friend's property, but remember, friendships can end in a real short period of time, especially if they get tired of you being there. So, and same thing with family. You might overimpose yourself on family and get kind of chased out. You know, at some point they make you tired of you being there. So think about getting a place of your own. One thing that I've always considered would be desirable is a place that doesn't have anything to worry about when you're not there. Linda and I ran into a couple in Moab, Utah several years back, and they were traveling in a brand new little casita. They used to own property. They had a house in Havasu City, and they had a house in Kalispell. And they said, when we're at the house in Kalispell, we worry about the house in Havasu City. And when we're in Havasu City, we worry about the house in Kalispell. So we decided to get rid of one of them and just travel in the trailer. That way they cut their obligations in half. So that is the thing about having a house, is you got to worry about, is the plumbing freezing? Is somebody breaking in? Is there a plumbing leak while you're gone? You have to worry about theft. That's the problem with having a house. So if you have a house as a home base, it's best if you got somebody staying there. Like currently, Linda and I have a daughter that's staying at our place. But that's the important thing that you need to think about with having a house. There's an option that I always thought was a really good one. I mentioned people buying acreage around Flagstaff, Arizona. I saw something, the first time Linda and I saw something that we liked was down around Mesquite. And we noticed that people had bought a lot and they poured a pad, put up a portico that they could back their RV under. And if they leave their RV there, it's protected from hail damage. And if they're there in the hotter months, it shades the roof. They invariably had a garden shed that they could lock up their garden tools in, or whatever they used to keep the weeds down. Some of them can be on water and electric, and others not. If you have good solar, you don't need to worry about the electric so much. But the thing that I noticed was, when they're not there, there's nothing to be destroyed. Of course, you're taking your RV with you, right? And just leaving that spot behind. So most of them are doing it for a vacation spot to go down during the winter and have a place to go. My idea is to have a spot like that as a home base, someplace in some town where you want to be, where if you're out on the road and you want to, for some reason, you want to book it for home, a place where you can call your own and nobody can chase you out of, a spot like that would be good. So when you're gone from it, you don't have to worry about it, but you can take your RV there, park it there, and no one can chase you out, and you belong there. It wouldn't cost very much. You're just talking about the price of the lot or the acreage or whatever, and then putting up a portico and pouring a slab. It wouldn't be super expensive. So I'm thinking that if you're thinking about selling your house and digging out, all the more power to you. But maybe reserve some cash behind and choose a place where you want to be and buy a place like that. One great thing about purchasing your own home base, be it a bare lot or a small house or whatever suits your fancy, is that you do get to have the value of your investment go up over time. That's something I've always preached, is to have some kind of nest egg, right? Well, that is one form of a nest egg. A couple other good reasons for having a home base might be financial. It's not cheap being on the road. You might need to just go somewhere and settle down for a bit until some funds accumulate again. And another one, I hate to mention it, but it's health. Your health might go bad, or you might have underlying health difficulties that you need to consider. So in that case, pick a home base that has that's a good medical town, one that's got doctors and a hospital. So find something in that area. So do I think you should have a home base? Yeah, I think you should. A place where you can go hang out and just be you, and no fears of getting chased out or anything. Home base. Anyways, hope you liked the video. If you did, please subscribe, hit the notification bell, and we'll see you around. Fred, Barney, Wilma.